everyone. So today we're going to talk about happiness, how to be happy according to different gurus, big people on YouTube, or even big philosophies that are more spiritual in nature, that people follow and get some nuggets of wisdom from in the more spiritual realm. And before we start, just want to remind you to click on the subscribe button below and on the notification bell so that you can be involved with any kind of content that I release on life coaching, nutrition, relationships, etc., so that you can have a happier life. All right, so the first guru that we're going to talk about, if you often look at YouTube videos, you might have heard of this Indian mystic named Sadguru. Sadguru has grown in popularity all over the world among people of all types of religions and spiritual traditions and cultures because of his practical way of bringing mysticism and spiritual depth and nuggets about how to be happy to people. He's got something called inner engineering that people go through. But just in a nutshell, to give you kind of the basic concept of one of the things that he talks about how to be happier is basically he says happiness does not depend on external situations. Joyfulness, he uses the word joyfulness a lot, and joyfulness is a part of your nature and does not depend on action. So what he's saying is you don't need to have the best job, you don't need to have the best career, you don't need to have the best spouse, you don't need to live in a perfect country. That happiness is about creating an inner state of joyfulness that already exists within you. So it's about how we choose to experience everything in this world and how we choose to experience the things that do happen to us. It is an inner quality of just pure joy. Of course, there's ways that he helps or he advocates for attaining this, also based on his spiritual tradition, whether that's meditation or just observing yourself. But this is the core concept of just this innate joyfulness that is based on your own doing within yourself. Joyfulness is an inner quality that you connect to based on how you choose to experience life. So there's an element of choice here. And what's nice about this philosophy is it really gives you the control and power over your happiness, because it doesn't depend on anything external to you, and it's an overall quality and feeling that you generate within yourself, a sweet feeling of joyfulness. Okay, the next person, or if you want to call it a person that I want to discuss, is Abraham Hicks. Abraham Hicks is basically channeled. So Esther Hicks is a woman, and Jerry Hicks, her late husband, used to sit and meditate, and at one point they channeled what they called a group of spirits that named themselves Abraham Hicks, and these spirits were basically giving her messages in order to give pointers to humankind, to people that are living here, on how to be more joyful, how to be happier, and what the basic energetic principles are. And to summarize it in just a very easy way, basically what Abraham Hicks says through Esther Hicks is that happiness doesn't depend on what others do, but upon your vibrational balance. So at the same token, other people's happiness does not depend on you. You're not causing other people to be happy or unhappy. But the way that we feel at any time is created by our own vibrational energy. And so there's this concept of being in alignment, not only with our own energy, but with the source energy, the energy of creation. And they have something called the vortex. And what's really nice about this model is it's all about your vibration. It's all about your energy. Happiness is, again, about connecting yourself to a certain feeling within you that is light, that is happy, that is joyful, and that's not based, again, on external, but how you're able to create that feeling within yourself. And at the same time, making everybody responsible for that own energy that they choose to connect with within themselves. So it comes from a place of feeling, and again, meditating, choosing to feel a certain way. These are all ways that we come closer to this vortex, and closer to this kind of lightness of being in positive states. Abraham Hicks speaks through Esther in different kinds of formats where people go and they ask their, in-depth questions. And when they come and they ask these questions, Esther, responds to their questions using this vibrational theory about how, you can take the things that are hard in your life or heavy in your life, or the things that you really want in your life, and learn how to take what you want and connect to it vibrationally, by imagining that it's possible, by envisioning it for yourself, by removing the boundaries to your success that you create within your own mind, and realizing that it's more about creating a feeling within yourself where you really feel that anything joyful that you want is possible and can be had, and so that you remove these boundaries from what you see is or isn't possible. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is not exactly a guru, but it's a concept that's used a lot in the spiritual coaching worlds and in the kind of guru worlds, and that is the concept of the law of attraction. So in the law of attraction, the key is seeing things first in your mind. So actually envisioning that anything that you want is possible. So let's say you want to be rich, getting rid of these thoughts in your mind that it's not possible, and actually envisioning this visually, maybe repeating a mantra in your mind that I am already rich and I'm going to be richer. It could be closing your eyes and feeling what it feels like to be rich, but it's really realizing that the first part starts in creating those pictures in your mind, and that you attract to you whatever it is that you are creating vibrationally in your mind, in your creativity, in the way you feel in your body. So first you see it, first in your mind, and then the next step could be writing down, when I will be rich, I will have $15 million. And really going into detail about, I will have a yacht on Lake Como, and you can't have a lot, I don't think you can, but you could have a villa on next to Lake Como, and a yacht in the ocean, or whatever, all the details of what that would look like and feel like, and envision it, because that's how you begin attracting it to yourself. After you've written it down, really believing in it and feeling it, and allowing yourself to feel and believe that beautiful image that you've created for yourself. And just realize the law of attraction is interesting because it teaches that these things can happen in reverse too. If you're constantly saying to yourself, I can't be rich, I'm poor, I'm poor, I'm poor, I'm poor, then that you attract more of that to yourself, because those are the mental images that you are sending out into the universe and that you are attracting to yourself. That we attract in image and we attract in vibration. So setting out the vibration and the images of what you want is the way you attract more of it to yourself, whether that's attracting those type of people, whether it's the energy and charisma you put out there, or whether it's, the goals you allow yourself to set up in your own mind because you're envisioning these things. And the last person or guru I want to talk about today, and I know this is kind of all over the map, but I did this on purpose so that we got kind of a nice balance, is Oprah. So what does Oprah say are some of the ways to happiness? Now, of course, a lot of Oprah's platform talks about this in many different ways, but I've, again, went in and tried to pull out some core concepts that she tends to bring up. So the first one she talks about is aligning your personality and your soul. So really, making sure that you do not forego what's really important to your soul in your everyday life, whether it's your career choice, whether it's your volunteer choice, or whether it's just the decisions you make in your everyday life, to not give up on your soul and to make sure that your values, meaning, what's meaningful to you really figures in as part of the decision-making process in your life, and as part of how you make choices for your life. The next thing she talks about a lot, probably also based on her own personal trajectory, is learning how to set boundaries as a really main source of happiness. She was a victim of molest herself in life, and she chose to take that experience to learn how to set good boundaries and how to use it to make lemonade, so that really knowing how to say no, how to make yourself important, and how to find out what's uniquely individual about you and setting the boundaries around that really is key to your happiness, and doing it in communicative and loving ways, in non-violent ways. So really setting boundaries. And another thing that's really key to her philosophy for happiness is giving back. The importance of service, of doing something meaningful, of giving to the world. She again also talks about this idea of seeing things first in your mind, believing that you are capable of having what you want, believing that you're worthy, writing it down, believing it and feeling. So really, feeling this within yourself. But also, when she talks about, happiness, she says that it's really a unique endeavor, and that it's really important to get to know yourself, and to realize that what makes you happy might be a little different than somebody else. So really learning to know yourself. So for Oprah personally, what makes her happy is switching off, relaxing, knowing how to totally disconnect, no news, and listening to her internal self about, what she does and doesn't want to do, what brings her joy and what doesn't bring her joy. Really this connection to what is important to her, and making this, a core guidance system in achieving your happiness. So now I'm curious, what gurus do you listen to, and what kind of kernels of wisdom have you learned from different spiritual gurus or spiritual concepts that you can share with us in the comments section, so that we can all learn and share with each other. I just want to remind you again to subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Wishing you a very blessed day.